Hello everybody! Today I'm going to do a new Procreate tutorial where we are going to go start to finish on how I make the icons for Lily's episodes of Force of Secrets. So today we're going to be working on episode 11's icon and it's going to be super cool. I think it's with Cloud Kit almost being attacked by a badger. So I'm going to show you guys how I do the sketching process and how I do all the things in between. And today actually I've learned a new thing where I'm going to actually use my magic trackpad so you guys can see where my finger is. And I'm going to turn that on about now. So I put my magic trackpad in pairing mode and I'm going to go to settings and I'm going to go to my Bluetooth. And I'm actually going to look for Trixie the Magic Trackpad. That's what I named my trackpad. And now I can actually move my cursor around the screen and I can click on things. That's so crazy. So we are going to go to Procreate again. And with my little finger, you can see now I'm going to go to the wrench tool. I'm going to go to the add. And we're going to go to insert a photo. And so we're going to grab this big 11 that Lily sent me. And we're going to put it there. And I might need to insert a photo of my last icon I did. Just so that I know I placed it correctly. Let's see. Might have made this one a tiny bit bigger than the other file. We'll see if I need a crop. And I probably do. So we're going to do that. So we're going to go to canvas. We're going to go to crop, resize, and we're going to shape it to this. I made the file just a smidge too big. All right, there we go. And so now we're going to turn off that and we're going to turn off this. Well, maybe we're going to click on in to see your opacity. We're going to move the opacity just a smidge down so we can line it up with that 10. So we can actually put this underneath. So by clicking and dragging, you can move your layers around. And if you hold long enough, they'll actually add to a group, which can be helpful, but sometimes not so much. If you're like, I just wanted to move it. So let's 2 fingers to undo. And so we're going to click on our 11 layer. We're going to scale it up. So start about there and we'll pull on this edge. So cool that you guys can actually see where my finger is at and what it's actually doing. Let's see a little bit bigger. That's looking pretty good. Awesome. And so when you're trying to move an object, it's important to sometimes be dragging from the outside of the shape because sometimes when you're pulling from the inside of the shape, it will like mess things up. So just a tip there. And so I think the other day I forgot to mention 2 more ways you can transform things. So there's also the distort tool, which I use a ton, but we probably won't be using right now today. It works so cool, can like give dimension to your art. And even though we're not going to be using it today, I really wanted to show you guys something cool that I have been using in my animation a lot. Is I have this really cool brick and stone brush. And you can like make little stones and bricks. It's so cool. And it looks pretty flat when you have it like this. But when you take the transform tool, it looks like ground if you drag it down to the bottom. And it looks like ground when you drag it down to the bottom. It's so cool. Or if you drag it to like the side, it looks kind of like a perspective from a wall. I just really love the transforming distort tool. It's very helpful, especially when you're trying to make things look like from far away. Okay, so, oh, and then this one is also very helpful if you needed to like just move like a little bit of an arm or something. That's pretty cool. You can even see like the back side of things. But like if you needed your thing to be just like up an inch or something, sometimes the warp tool is pretty helpful. And you can even do this thing where it does advanced mesh, so like you can move either so you can move even tinier parts that you wanted to move. It's pretty cool. Okay, and then I wanted to explain one more thing. If you've ever moved an object and you've scaled it way down and you've like let go, and then you look at it and you're like, oh no, the pixelation went really wonky. And you try to scale it back up and it's blurry now. Do you see that? You're like, darn. So what happens when you move an object is that it actually is trying to recreate the pixels at the size that you're scaling it to. So always be cautious when you're moving an object, anytime transforming it. You need to be careful that you're maybe either duplicating, so you'd go over here and you would, oops. Doesn't work with the magic trackpad. You drag it to the side there and see duplicate. I would duplicate like as many times as you can. Because if you scale this little, oops, I'm still on the hidden image. If you go to this and you make it really tiny, and then you click off, and then you click back on, and try to scale it up again. Oh no, we lost all definition. That is a really important tip. So, I'm gonna undo. Okay. And now another thing I wanted to explore was this. This is a different way that it is making your guys's, like if you're scaling up and down, it's making it pixelier or blurry. So this is either bilinear or bicubic. So if you zoom way out on this one, make it really tiny, it will either make it blurry or it will make it cubic when we zoom back up. See, that one made it more cubish. The other one made it more blurry. Maybe it's the other way around. One of those. I always go by linear because it makes it more pixely instead of blurry. Nearest neighbor is also helpful too, but I usually always keep it on this one. Anyways, all right, so moving on. So now we got our image of 11. We'll turn off the last icon. And now we're going to start sketching out our scene. So I've got a new layer built, and we can probably delete our tutorial image. We don't need that right now. And we don't need this either, so clean it up. So let's always keep our 11 on top so we can keep our layers underneath, because that's how we'll be showing it. Okay, so we're going to go to my favorite brushes, and my sketchy pen is my favorite. All right, so we're on a layer, and we're going to start sketching. So we got a badger. I'm going to add my references here. So I've got these images that I saved of CloudKit and the badgers. So I'm going to start with CloudKit. So I've got this cute little reference of him. He's so pretty. He's a pretty little character. So I'm going to start sketching. So let's see. I think he's just like scared. So there's like a scared him over here, and then there's like a scary badger coming up over here. He should be like a little puffball, like, ooh, I'm scared. So I'm just gonna sketch right now. And I might just speed this part up. Okay, so there's like my brief sketch. So I think it's still snowy out, so we're gonna do some like snowy little feet things. Just like pretend like he's trapped against a rock. I don't really remember the details of that scene, but Lily told me to draw this. Okay, so we're gonna just combine these two layers. So we're gonna go down, we're gonna click, and then we're gonna go to merge down, and now we got one layer. So let's turn this opacity just down a smidge. Now we're gonna go and make a new layer, and we're going to change our sketchy brush to our most staple brush, which I use for all my line art, and we are going to draw the line art for this. Okay, so now I'm going to turn off my line art and we're going to be able to see the picture. I'm going to turn off my 11, so I just make sure that I close all my shapes so that it will be easier to color it. All right. Wow, that looks really good. So now I'm going to open my layer. I'm going to combine my layers down again. And don't combine it down into your sketch layer, be sure of that. And I'm going to add some whites to the eyes. I'm going to add a new layer so that I can get the whites down. Oops, I need my more sturdy brush because it's making crazy circles. It's hard to make a perfect circle, so sometimes you got to do it multiple times. Cute. I always put my signature nose line. Little moist noses. Wow, that looks good. All right, so now we're going to duplicate so that we can fill this line art. All right, so I'll start with Cloud Kid because I have his colors here. So he's white. We're going to drag his colors into him. Push continue fill and see the little check mark at the top. So we're going to just tap, 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 tap. Okay. Oh, he's looking so cute. So let's zoom into that eye color there. Pick up that outer eye color. We're going to just draw that one in because it's an open shape. See, open shapes, you gotta close them yourself. That looks really good. Just kind of fill it in. Or once you do a colored shape, you can actually drag in the color. But sometimes that happens, you see. So it colored his whole entire body. That's because the threshold is too high. See, if you see at the top, it says 96. And as I drag my brush a different direction, I'm holding and I'm pulling, and at the top you can see the threshold going down. And sometimes you need to keep doing it. So undo, drag from the top again, and drop it in there. Oops, I let go. And hold, don't let go. So you drop it in, hold, and then you see the threshold at the top. You're going to drag down. It might take a few times before you're able to fill it up. Drag it way down. Oop, there we go. See, it's back inside the eye now. Got to make it just enough that it will fill entirely. 31. Seems about 32. That sounds good threshold. All right, that is looking really cute. And now we're gonna get this inner eye color. So how you get this little picker tool is you're going to hold for at least 3 seconds. Sometimes you can go into the settings and you can actually edit how long it takes your finger to pick up color. So you do need your finger when you are holding over an image to get this little color selecting tool. But once you have it, it's way easy to do. Or you can go into your color picking tool. I would like to go to classic, and we're going to go and try to get like a bluish color. And I'm going to fill in this little anxiety droplet. Oh, that's looking really cute. Okay, so we need his ear and nose color. Drag that in. And then I have these universal colors I use for mouths. And it's always good to know what you guys think is a good mouth color. I like these colors. These are my mouth colors. All right. Whoa, it looks so anxious. And also when you're trying to pick up a color with the picky tool, you can't have it with a little check mark at the top or else it won't let you select. So you got to go and click on the paintbrush tool until that color select goes away. And we'll drag it in there. And wow, that's looking cute. All right, so we're gonna get his ear color, his little stripes. So we're gonna need a new layer because this takes a few strokes of the paintbrush and we don't want to ruin the line art. So he has these little ear tips. I'm thinking we're gonna just do a textured-ish brush. Maybe. No, let's just do normal. Okay, we're gonna go with this brush and we're gonna turn down the opacity so it's not super strong. Maybe we'll start strong. We'll do these little V's here. Let's get these little V's of color. And then it fades. Well, I guess we do the nose. Little nose bridge. Cute. And then we're going to turn down the opacity and then we're going to do these little stripes. Maybe a little bit bigger. And they kind of go over each other a few times and then they fade away. Turn it up. Turn it down. Turn it up. Okay, now we do freckles. And I don't think they're 100% opacity, but they're like just a little bit. Freckles. Oh, so many little freckles. Oh, it's looking cute. Alright, now his little feetsies are pretty much like his ears. So we're going to turn up the opacity. These little toes. And we will clean up this liner. So, oh, I actually forgot to color his other leg. So we're going to need to go back and drag that in there. And there's a little toe missing. Okay. So we got back up to this layer and back to this color and color in his toes again. And then we're going to turn down the opacity. And then he's pretty much just a white cat, other than like this little tail. So maybe I'll do a few of those little stripy lines. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, so now we're just going to clean up those lines by selecting this layer, and we're going to click on our little selecty tool at the top. So we're going to go and we're going to click automatic, and then we're going to touch, and we're going to drag our threshold a little higher. We're going to go about 90%, I think. We'll select all around him in the space that is touching his line art and has this gray in it. So we're going to select, we're selecting. Might want to turn up the threshold like a little smidge more. So anywhere you see this whiteness on top of the line art, that's the parts it's going to cut away, and the blue. But the line art, it will be going over this black line, which is what I want because I want some like actual space behind it, and we actually need to clean up inside the ears. Oh, and now we see the threshold is too high there. So we could go over here and actually click on this one. So let's see. This line art, we don't. Grab that. And so we get his nose. Probably should have used the first layer anyways. Okay. Alright. Oop, there. And there. Okay, that doesn't mess with him. Alright, and now turn down that. Okay. We're gonna go back to the layers. Click on the layer that has the sketchy stuff on it. And we're gonna click cut. And there you go, we got clean line art. Look at that. Oh, that is looking so cute. And now we're gonna do the badger. So we're gonna clear this reference and put our badger reference back in. Ooh, so scary. So badgers are like a white color, definitely not yellow like this. I think about like a dirtier white. And we're gonna make sure we're on this layer. And we're gonna push continue film. We're gonna just tap, tap. Okay. And then we're going to make a new layer to do some sketchy coloring. And I think he's like a grayish, let's see, yeah, about that. And so they got like a dark underjaw. Let's make sure the opacity's up. Cool. All right, that's a really cool fur texture-y. And if you're trying to erase a really texturized thing, if you just try to drag across it, it's just going to make it look really sharp. If you wanted a less sharp line, you probably go in with the same brush you used to paint with to erase with. So this will actually give you back your texture a little bit. Look at that. Cool. Wow, that's looking good. So badgers, they seem to have like even black in the insides of their ears, and they have like black nose. So we're gonna go to our line art. We're gonna drop that in and drop that in. And we're gonna give him universal teeth color. Boom. Well, actually that doesn't match as good. Maybe he needs white teeth. That's even more visible. Awesome. Then we're going to clean up his line art and give him a scar. So we're going to go to his top line art. We're going to selecty tool, go to automatic, and just tap, 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 tap. Anywhere on the outside that might be touching some scribbly lines. Let's see, I'll zoom in. And anywhere on him that you don't want the scribblies. Clean up those teeth. got it. And then we're going to go to the layer that the scribblies are on, and then we're going to go to cut. Clean! Oh, so clean all of a sudden. That's awesome. And also forgot his scratchy claws. Let's do this color. That looks good. And then I've got some scar colors. I like that one. Looks good. So I did need my most stable brush. Ooh, too big now. Oop, I just got the opacity turned way down. There we go. Wow, that looks good. So now we just got to give him eye color. They did look like they had more browner eyes. So, very cute. Makes you get angry badger. All right, so now we can turn off our references because now we're just going to color the background. Let's turn on that 11 to make sure it still looks okay. Still looks good. Cool. All right, so we're going to make a layer below all of our line art, and we're going to go down here, and we're going to drop in some sky color. That's how I like to work backwards to frontwards. Let's make some blue. Might be darker. I'm not quite sure of the time of day during this, but we're gonna make it darker and then lighter. So I like to get my soft brush and I like to just kind of work with it, making it a gradient kind of. That looks nice. Okay, now we're going to try and get some of the ground, which I think is just snow. So we can actually take our toppest layer here of the line art and we can duplicate that and we can drag it down below. And we're going to want to get like a nearly white color and we're going to drag it to make it snowy looking. Look at that, looks good. Okay, now there was like 2 little pieces of grass here. We're gonna just tap. And then we got 2 rocks here. So there's this rock and there's that rock. Let's make a color like this. Make sure to get all the nooks and crannies. Looks good. Don't forget the snow on top of the rock here. Yeah. And then let's get like a bluer toned gray for this rock. Oh yeah, that's looking good. So now we just got some bushes here. Let's go a little olivey green. Let's tap. Okay, got all the bushes. And now it's tree time. So we got all these trees. So go to a brown color. And I just usually just do a color and then change the color and then make it darker for different trees, lighter for some. Because trees aren't all the same color. That looks really good. Might want to make a little bit of texture on the trees. We'll just try and make some like bark looking texture over there. That might not be dark enough. Oh no, I messed up the layers. Order. Yep. That's why you always duplicate. So I had forgotten to move down to the layer I duplicated to. But that's okay, because we still had touched this layer. So now we're moving it down. Good catch. I was like, wait a second, it's moving the line art. That shouldn't happen. Okay, so there we go. There we have our beautiful image. I might just slap a new layer on and just give it kind of like a coloring. So we'll do like a bluish coloring because it's kind of cold and snowy still. So we're gonna turn on the number 11 and we're gonna drop in some blue, and then it like wipes out everything. Just kidding. So we're gonna go to the screen, maybe like turn that down in opacity, and look at that, it just takes the scene from like boring color to just a little lighter. And I'm really liking making these little steam things come out of their mouth because they're scared or angry. All right, well, I think I'm done, and I hope you guys enjoyed this awesome tutorial. So please keep watching for all my other tutorials. I might be coming out with a spooky tutorial on how I animate. So please keep your eyes out, and thank you guys for everything you do. And I'll see you later.